Hey guys, welcome to the YouTube channel. Today I'm going to do a shorter video because the last time I did one of these style videos, I did about James Cameron and I kind of went a bit too long. So I'm going to try to keep this to 5 to 10 minutes. So we're going to go through really fast. There are criterias. There's S tier, A, B, C tier. I don't really know if I would go below D tier. I don't know what tiers I'm going to have. But most of these movies are probably going to be up the top, so I'm not really going to go to F tier, if that makes sense. But the Nolan movies, so as I said, I'm going to rush through it, and I will be including the Odyssey, because now I've seen the Odyssey, I can rank the Odyssey where it ranks in his filmography. Now, up front, I have not watched Insomnia, or that other, I think it's Insomnia. I have not watched Memento, and I have not watched Following, so I'm not going to be including those movies in here. So if those are the movies you want to hear my perspective on, I will review them at some point when I do watch the movie. But for right now, I'm just reviewing the ones that are mostly available on 4K, but also including the Odyssey. So first off, I'm going to go with something that is kind of a forgotten one of Christopher Nolan. It's kind of forgotten because The Prestige is an interesting one. It's a great movie, but it doesn't get as much recognition beside the other Nolan movies. So it's an underrated classic. I mean, it's very interesting about... It's about magic, but it's also... How do I explain it without spoiling it for someone who hasn't seen it? That's the hard part. I think when there's a scene in there with Christian Bale and Hugh Jackman towards the end of the movie, it's one of those twists that you don't see coming. But, yeah. Where would I rank it? I would give this a... I'll probably give this a C tier. And that's not a bad ranking at all. That is not a bad ranking at all. But for me, I would say this is a C tier. It's not up there with the other legendary ones of Nolan's work, but it's definitely one of the respectable Nolan movies. It's one of the ones that, if you haven't seen, you should see it. And I know people are going to say, but you should see Memento and don't talk about this until you do Memento. But I'm doing it my way. I'm going to do things my way. It's my way or the highway. Next, we're going to do Batman Begins. Now, with Batman Begins, this is where Nolan started his run with Batman movies. But it doesn't contain many IMAX scenes, if any. I don't think it even contains any IMAX scenes. It does not. But for what it's shot on, I think it was shot on Super 35. I'm going to give this a B tier all day. This is B tier all day. This is... I'm only giving it a B tier because I'm saving the S tier and the A tier for, you know, the other movies. Obviously, I'm going to rank them very highly. But for this, Batman Begins, you know, we got Katie Holmes in there. Obviously, they change Katie Holmes out for Maggie Gyllenhaal in The Dark Knight. But I think Batman Begins is a B tier all day. And it's not saying it's a bad movie. I'm just saying that when compared against his other filmography, this is a B tier. And this is a strong B tier. Dark Knight, S tier. I mean, come on. When people think of Christopher Nolan, when people look at Batman movies, and I know that people are going to say Jack Nicholson. I know people are going to say Jack Nicholson did a great Joker. I'm not discounting previous Jokers. Caesar in the 1960s did a great Joker. But this became the baseline for everything that came after it. Except, I don't know, I think Jared Leto tried to do something different. I'm starting to warm up to Jared Leto's Joker. I think Jared Leto's Joker could have had more potential. And from what I've seen with Zack Snyder, sorry, I know people are going to say, oh, he goes something when talking about Zack Snyder. I don't know. When he did that cut of Zack Snyder's Justice League, I feel like I wanted to see more of that Joker. I wanted to see more of Jared Leto's one. But also, you know, Joaquin Phoenix does a great Joker as well. Although I wouldn't say that's the Joker that fights Batman. I would say that's the one that probably inspired the Joker. But an S tier all day. That is S tier. Every time they show this in IMAX theaters, regardless of whether it's laser or off film or whatever, this sells out easily. So S tier, legendary movie. Legendary. Dark Knight Rises, I also see this sell out consistently when they rescreen it at an IMAX theater. Would it be up there in terms of story with The Dark Knight? There is a scene where there is cops chasing Batman through the city. And it's a great scene. It's one of the IMAX scenes, I believe, that open up the aspect. This one, with these Blu-rays, they also are cut down to 178 to 1, I believe it is. Yeah, 178 to 1. Because they're not going to put the IMAX scenes on these in full, because 143 to 1 going to 220 to 1 or 240 to 1 or whatever Nolan used, 241. It's going to be jarring to go from black bars at the top to black bars on the side, then back to black bars at the top. So for this one, I'm going to rank this... I mean, this is a lot of his filmography. I'm going to rank The Dark Knight Rises as... See, I like the Bane versus Batman aspect of this movie. I like Tom Hardy's portrayal. I'm going to give this S tier. I know people aren't going to agree with that. It's definitely... People are going to say, oh, but it's not up there with The Dark Knight. But it's in the conversation. The trilogy as a whole is an S tier. But Batman Begins is a bit lower. It's on a B tier just because it doesn't have the same aspect changes, but also Nolan was still filling out the IP when he did Batman Begins. When he did The Dark Knight Rises and The Dark Knight, he kind of understood what he was getting himself into. He kind of understood how he wanted to shoot it. He had a style by then. He understood what he wanted to do. So S tier for that. What one will I do next? I'm gonna go with Inception. Because this one, if I'm correct, Inception wasn't shot for IMAX at all. He shot it on Super 35, if I'm correct. Though, the plot of this movie, and where it stands in his overall filmography, I'm going to give this an A tier. I mean, yes, is it S tier? I could argue it's S tier as well. I could say, yes, this movie at times goes into an S tier. But for what it is, I'm going to say it's a... Would I give it an S tier? I probably would. But I'm going to say it's an A tier. I'm going to say that's A tier. It's a great movie. It's one of his best movies. But knowing what Nolan's done afterwards and where I would rank it in his overall filmography, because that's how I have to look at this. His overall filmography, is it at the level of A Dark Knight? I would say no. Is it better than Batman Begins? More than likely. I would say this is a A tier all day. And see how this is going so far? A lot of Nolan movies are high ranking, because I'm considering now... I used to think James Cameron was the best director in all of Hollywood. I used to also say Alfred Hitchcock. You know, you have to respect Alfred Hitchcock's work. But Nolan is, at the moment, the best director in Hollywood. And he cares about physical media. He cares about how this is presented at home. He cares about the presentation. So, a lot of his movies to me are very much on those top tiers, except for maybe one. I'm going to leave that one till last. Let's do Dunkirk next. Now, this one, it does have IMAX shots. It is beautifully shot. It is... I saw it in the IMAX down at Darling Harbour when it reopened. It's a beautiful movie. I really like it. However, and that's a big however, there are times where jumping back and forward can kind of jar the audience. I understand that. I understand jumping back and forward, and, you know, a later movie does that a lot. But jumping back and forward in time, like, this happened earlier in the scheme of things, I understand how it can jar the audience. But this is a hard one for me, because I really love Dunkirk. I really love it. But I'll give it a B tier. It could rank as an A. It's right up there with Inception. It's definitely got those IMAX shots that are really beautifully shot. But for me, I'm going to give this a B tier. Just because I can understand why the audience might have issue with jumping back and forward. There are people who have issues with jumping back and forward in time. I get that. For me, it's still a strong movie. Is it up to the scale of Inception, though? That's how I have to look at it. Is it an S tier? No, I wouldn't say it's an S tier. The shots in the movie might be an S tier, But the overall movie as a whole, I'd say it's a B movie. It's a B tier movie of Nolan's work. It's a great movie. It's a great movie. That's not discounting how he shot it or how he made it. But it's something you have to be in the mood to watch. I can throw in Inception and watch that at any given time. I can throw in The Dark Knight and watch that at any given time and be like, yep, I'm just putting that on. With Dunkirk, you kind of have to be in the mood to watch Dunkirk. No, it's an A tier. No, I'm not giving it a B tier. Sorry, I'm revising it. It's an A tier. I'm giving it an A tier. I would say it's up there with Inception. I would say it's up there. Is it better than The Dark Knight? Probably. I'm probably reaching for Dunkirk before I reach for The Dark Knight, unless I'm watching The Dark Knight trilogy. Or, sorry, not The Dark Knight. What am I talking about? Batman Begins. Sorry. Batman Begins. It is better than Batman Begins. It's not better than The Dark Knight. But yeah, that's an A tier. I would give that an A tier. I have to revise it because I love the movie. Sorry, I shouldn't throw it down like that. Next, we'll go to Interstellar. I'm going to say this right now. It's probably my favorite Nolan movie. I would love to see Nolan do a sequel to this movie. I'd love to just see Nolan do a sequel to a movie of his IPs that's not The Dark Knight, you know? I watched it on the Sydney IMAX as well, because they did Nolan Week when it first opened the Sydney IMAX, after the renovations. And I really love Inception. Interstellar. I really love Interstellar. It's something that might even be his best overall movie. People are going to say, no, Dark Knight is his best overall movie. But it's up there. I'll give this an S tier all day. That's an S tier. And why is Matt Damon always needing saving in these movies? He's always needing some sort of rescue in all these movies. Saving Private Ryan, The Martian. He needed saving in this as well. We always have to save Matt Damon. He might have needed saving in the Odyssey. Did he need saving in the Odyssey? I'm not going to spoil it, but I don't know. Did he or didn't he? Maybe he didn't need saving. Maybe he didn't. He kind of saved himself, I think. I don't know. I don't know how you'd clarify it, but that's an S tier. Okay, let's just go to Oppenheimer real quick. Oppenheimer, for me, is one that's very dialogue heavy, but it's also shot in an aspect and also a way that they developed a whole film that Nolan wanted, black and white IMAX film. They developed that for Christopher Nolan. It's beautiful. And as I said, most of these are 220 or 240 to 1 and switch between the IMAX scenes, which are usually displayed at 178 to 1. But for Oppenheimer, I don't know if I would rank this an S tier. And that might be controversial to some of you. It's definitely one of his better movies. It's definitely one of his best movies. But I don't know if I'd rank it an S tier. I'd say it's up there, but I'd probably say a B tier. I'd probably say that's B because it's dialogue heavy. You gotta be in the mood. Tenet. Let's just put that right down on C tier. I think this is one that the plot is just the most jarring. But also, it's beautifully shot. What can I say? They did practical effects with the plane into the hangar. So I'm going to rank that as a C tier. Say about what you will. I'm going to rank Tenet as a C tier. The Odyssey. I've watched it now. I did a review on it after it. I'll put that at the end screens when I'm done with this video. Where would I rank The Odyssey? Obviously, it's not out on 4K Blu-ray yet. I would hope that Nolan puts out the 143 to 1 aspect ratio on 4K Blu-ray, because 4K Blu-ray collectors like myself want that aspect. But as a film, is it an S tier? That's the thing. Is it an S tier? I'm going to say it's an S tier. The Odyssey is an S tier movie. I'll need to see how it comes to 4K Blu-ray. But The Odyssey is an S tier. It's a great movie. And it hit $1 billion. It's the first movie that Nolan's had since The Dark Knight trilogy, that he's hit $1 billion. I have to rank it as S. The Odyssey is beautiful. The scenes of Troy. Because, yeah, I mean, most people know what it's about. It's in the trailer. I'm not going to go into too much spoilers, but everyone, if you haven't watched the trailer, then I can't help you. But Troy, I mean, it delivers. The Odyssey is an S tier to me. But how do you rank these movies? Obviously, if you have Memento and Insomnia and Following in there, rank them as well. How do you rank all these? How do you rank them? I want to know. Put it in the comments. And while I'm at it, I'll put a couple end screens here. Watch everything. I'll put my couple of recent videos at the top. And I'll put some others down the bottom. You can check those out as well if you want. But yeah, let me know how you would rank Nolan's movies. His filmography overall. I think he's the best director in Hollywood because he cares about physical media. Catch you in the next one. Peace.